Yeah, that was the big question going into the fight. Could he take him down and could he keep him down? And what was interesting was he beat him on his feet, which enabled him to take him down and keep him down. Or sort of keep him down, more than he's ever been kept down before.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, that's probably never been done. He was on 13 seconds on his back. I think prior to that, and the other times.
Yeah, 13 seconds was the longest he'd ever that's how much he's been down in his whole career. Was 13 seconds. You know, and a guy like Frank Mir is a good ground guy too. So very impressive. Kane looked incredible tonight. They were both in great shape. Junior was in great shape. He was in great shape. Imagine if that was the first fight on Fox. Damn it.
As far as Daniel Cormier goes, would you prefer to see him at 205? I guess maybe he had some kind of beef with Jones.
Yeah, I have so much respect for both of those guys. They can go wherever they want. They want to fight each other at heavy, I'm cool with that. If he wants to go to 205, I'm cool with that. So, either way.
Then you had a change in the broadcast team tonight. Can you touch on that at all? What the situation was?
Yeah, Goldie's out for a while, and I don't know when he'll be back. Next question. That's it. The biggest landslide in a title fight. Yeah, maybe. Going 5 rounds like that one-sided, yeah, probably. I didn't think that thing was going 5 rounds in a million years. There's no way I thought that would go 5 rounds. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Kane looked insane tonight. He looked so good.
Dana, you had talked about this being getting the title shot before, but you said it pretty definitively tonight. Can you just expand on it?
Say that to me again.
You talked about this being getting the title
shot. Oh, yeah.
You said it pretty definitively tonight. Can you just say why and expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, that division, there were so many guys that were coming up, and this guy should get a shot, that guy should get a shot. You know, a couple of the guys lost tonight, and if Bisping can beat Belfort, it's a tough fight for Mike. He deserves the shot at Anderson. I don't know. Anderson's at this point where that fight was so one-sided, so fast, and so decisive. It's tough to throw Vitor right back in there. You know what I mean? Especially when you're dealing with Anderson. Anderson's going to want to fight new guys and new challenges.
I guess you told the Brazilian.
What's that? Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't suck.
Dana, I guess you told the Brazilian media that you anticipated 3 more fights for Anderson and then John Jones. Is that kind of that you've got the plan kind of mapped out that way?
Well, it makes sense because if you think about it, that'd be almost a year and a half.
So it'd be Bisping first if he wins.
Yeah.
George St. Pierre second, maybe?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Where does Chris Weidman fit in there?
Yeah, that's the thing. Weidman's still going to come back. He's hurt. He'll come back, and you know. So, you know, there's probably 3 fights out there for him at 85. Then to George St. George will have a few more fights under his belt. You know, start to feel, you know, the guy's been off for such a long time. And because before he blew his knee out, he was ready to roll. You know, so. What's up, buddy? Bisping, Silva in England, probably not. Yeah. It's just the time difference hurts it so bad. You know what I mean?
How about Silva's contract? Where is that standing right now? How many more fights will he sign on for?
10. You have to sign a 10-fight deal. I don't think we've ever done a 10-fight deal. Maybe we did one with Forrest once or something like that, but I don't remember. But Anderson said, I want a 10-fight deal, not an 8-fight deal. I'll give him a 100-fight deal if you want.
I mean, you would never anticipate that he would fight 10 more times in his career, right?
Well, 10 more fights realistically is, 3 years.
So maybe.
Yeah, 3 years. I mean, the guy's 38, but he doesn't look it.
Do you think that he'll actually fight more than twice a year? I think that's been pretty much what he's been doing.
That would probably be the reality, yeah.
Can you talk about Costa Philippou tonight? Like, you admitted that the first 3 fights on the main card weren't fantastic. His fight was kind of weird, but you did say you think maybe he's top 10.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he stopped Tim Bosch. The first 2 fights were horrendous. I was going to throw a chair in there. What? I don't know about that. You know, yeah. Yeah. No, they're both in there. Beating Bosch tonight was big for him. That was a big fight.
Dana, What's better for business, a rivalry like this between Kane and Dos Santos, or a dominant heavyweight champion? Because you guys haven't had one yet.
I think trilogies are always awesome, especially when both these fights went the way that they did. I mean, everybody. I want to see the third fight. You know, it'll be interesting. I don't think Junior Dos Santos thought Kane. I mean, he respected him the whole time. And what I told you before, Junior Dos Santos said to me in that lunch and whatever, he says, I want to fight over him so bad, but I know Kane deserves this fight. He's the guy. He's the guy that really deserves it. But I don't really think he believed that Kane could do that to him the way that he did tonight. That's a good question. I don't know. It's obviously, it's 10 fights. It's up there. Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be paying the light bill. I can promise you that. He's going to be paying the light bill. Yeah, he thought it was great. Yeah. He loved that fight, and he loved the Lozon fight. I mean, it's the same as everybody, you know? And he was bored the first 3 fights.
You touched on Barnett briefly and just kind of breezed past it, but you know that is a legitimate heavyweight contender. Is he a guy that you can do business with at this point?
I don't know. We'll find out soon, though. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, what I said is true. I mean, the fact that you know, he beat Josh Barnett, that really means something. It's a big deal.
Have you had a chance to talk to Jordan Melendez at all since you
talked to him tonight, and he and I are going to get together soon.
Can you give us a hint as to what you guys are going to talk about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about his future in the UFC.
And you're still set on potentially giving him a title shot without having to face somebody coming over? You think he deserves that?
I think so. Yeah, he does.
What about Todd Duffy's performance? And did he have to do anything specifically as far as you guys are concerned to get back to the UFC, or how did that kind of work?
Yeah, he looked good. You know, I had a beef with him a while ago. I felt like he didn't give a shit if he was in the UFC or not. So, you know, if you didn't want to do business with us, then don't do business with us. And we ended up bringing him back, and he's been great through this whole thing.
So do you think he's matured then?
Yeah, I don't know if it's you know, that the guy needed to mature or anything. I just think that, you know, once you get into the UFC, you know, some of these guys start to get like, you know, this and that, and I'm not being, you know, until they leave. And then when they leave, they're like, holy shit, it was actually pretty good over there, you know? So.
What do you think about his potential?
About his what?
His potential?
Yeah, I think he's got great potential. He looked good tonight. We'll see. What did what? Yeah, probably. I would have to say so. Yeah, I was never in a bad way with him. I like Nate Marquardt. He's one of the nicest guys ever. But you know how I get. I get bummed out when guys do stuff like that. You know, you're a professional. Show up here and do what you're supposed to do. No clue. Bring over. Right. I have no clue, but I can say this, and I said it last week. You know, what's happened to those guys over in Strikeforce is terrible. It's really bad what happened to them over there, and it makes me sick. You know, I should probably sit down with all of them, but you know, anybody who fought in Strikeforce and is watching this right now, you know, I apologize for everything that's gone on over the last 8 months. And I'm really disgusted by it.
When you say that, are you just talking about the difficulty they had getting fights,
yeah.
Or is there more to it than that?
There's more to it. Yes, that, and there's more to it. It's disgusting what's happened to these guys over the last 8 months. It's bullshit, and it won't happen again. Shit's over now. I don't know. I gotta, you know, I can't think about that stuff right now. You know. We're going everywhere in Brazil. I mean, everywhere. We got big plans down there. We're gonna do some fun stuff down in Brazil. I'm really excited about it. Huh?
wish it would have been was more.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Hey, David, can you give any explanation how a judge scores the fight 30-27?
Right. There were a couple of those tonight. When that shit happens, it's just like, what the fuck was that guy watching? You know, you sit there and you're like, are you serious? Somebody actually scored that fight that way? It's unbelievable.
What do you do to fix
30-27 for Gallard. Yeah, I was going to mention that in the press conference and I forgot. Crazy, right? Anybody see that fight 30-27 for Gallard? You could never watch a fight in your fucking life and not score that 30-27. It's so scary. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, Cain Velasquez had to sweat it at the end when they called the decision. You never know with these fucking guys. 30-27 Dos Santos. What the fuck? It happens. These guys are crazy.
in a 50-45 fight? Yeah, I can see that.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. Unacceptable. Fight capital of the world. 30-27 Gallard. It's unacceptable. It's a joke. It's literally a joke. The commission, athletic commission, seriously must want to dig a fucking hole and bury themselves when somebody says 30-27 Gallard. Right? I don't know. I said they should feel that way. They should want to dig a hole and bury themselves. The way that I felt on the first 3 fights of the pay-per-view tonight. You do. No matter if the refs screw up or what happens or what the deal is, you know, it just doesn't seem like there's any penalties or any, I don't know. I don't really know what they do or if they get in trouble, you know. It's just, you know, I don't know, man. What am I going to do? How much more could I talk about it? What more could I do? I could do that? Oh, yeah, I'll lose my license. That would be revolutionary. Yeah, that would be real revolutionary. We no longer have a license in the state of Nevada to put on fights.
Do you think that's mostly because...
Oh, no, wait, I want to hear what he has to say to that. It fucking kills my business. Kills it. It actually makes people think. How about fucking Manny Pacquiao lost the decision in that fight? You know what I mean? And what happens is, the first thing you think, and I hate Bob Arum, okay? I can't stand that fucking guy. He didn't fix that fight. He has nothing to do with it, you know what I mean? I'd love to sit here and say, Bob fixed it, he rigged it, and he did this, he didn't. You know, it's decisions like this and the 30-27 Gallard tonight. It's stuff like that that just, it does kill your business. And people think that it's us. A lot of people aren't educated on the fact that Nevada State Athletic Commission actually picks these people and allows them to keep judging fights. If you look at last season of the Ultimate Fighter, other than how bad it sucked, right? Nothing sucked worse than the actual judging of those fights. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. The judging was an absolute joke. This season is 1,000,000 times better, you know? The problem is consistency.
Thank you for your kind words.
No.
I just heard you say that a win means something, right? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course it does.
Thank you.
So they just asked me whether I want you at 205 or heavyweight. I said whatever he wants to do.
Oh,
you can pick
good
whatever
stuff.
you want.
Right. Go ahead and pick it now.
Yeah. He's like,
it's always good to leave like a cliffhanger.
He's like,
it's always good. Like, let me leave you guys
he's
wondering.
like, I shouldn't have walked over here.
Don't tell him anything.
I don't
Let's
know
leave him with a
anything.
cliffhanger.
Congrats, bro.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. You made my night again, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon. What'd you ask me?
I said, how excited are you to have a guy like DC come over?
No, it's awesome. Yeah, he's going to bring a lot of excitement to the heavyweight or light heavyweight division, you know? And he could be next in line to fight Jones.
You mentioned that Leonard Garcia was in a spot where, you know, you were thinking about trying to use Clinton because of his style. Is Melvin Gallard getting kind of close to that point where you got to think about cutting him, or is he just another guy who's talented, who's exciting to watch and keep it?
Again, I'm not a, I'm not a coach or trainer or anything else, but if you ever notice, when Melvin Gallard comes out with that explosive, tries to go after you and knock you out, he wins more fights than he loses. When he has that sit back, wait kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It's just, he's just not as I don't know. He's not as effective as he is when he lets it all go. I don't know. You're asking me where he is. I don't know. As far as being cut, talk to the boys and see.
With Leonard Garcia, I mean, is there a point where it has to be a win? Because I think everybody's in the same boat where it's like keep him around because it's fun to watch.
Well, tonight, you know, there was so much controversy over that fight. It was such a close fight to score. Everybody on Twitter was calling bullshit and saying that he won the fight.
But I mean, if you have 8 fight of the night losses in a row, you still got to win at some point, right?
Right. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But I always say it. The guys who go and lay it all out in the line, those are the guys that we like to have. Believe me, there's a lot of guys that love to, you know, do that push against the cage shit all night that I'd love to cut on a win.
Dana, you know, all the shows this month between Fox, FX, Fuel TV, pay-per-view, it's been a pretty spectacular month, 84% increase in view ratings on Fox. Do you feel pretty satisfied ending the year on a high note like this as it seems to, despite all the bumps in the road that have been this year?
Yeah, you know, it's been a very interesting, challenging year for us, but actually, as demented as this sounds, I actually like it. I like new things being thrown at us and trying to figure out different stuff, but the reality is we've got an awesome working relationship with the Fox guys, and the thing that I love about being on this network, there's many things that I love about being on this network, they have a plan. There's a plan. Everything is calculated. Everything's planned. Everything is done for a reason. You know, we at the UFC, we come up with a bunch of strategies and goals and things that we want to achieve, and these guys do the same thing with our sport, our content, and our brand. I'm telling you, man, to try to explain to you people what it's like working with Fox, it is unfucking believable.
I love the Road to the Octagon special for the last Fox event. Do you expect, will that be the standard going forward for Fox events?
Yep. Yeah, I was really happy with that too. We produced that show, and we worked hard on it. Yeah, I was pretty proud of that show. But thank you.
Is there anything this year, with the year now ending, you look back and go, you know, like, this was like the best thing we learned all year?
The best thing we learned all year was, yeah, a ton of main events can fall out and guys can get injured. Because you would never think that. You would never think that many guys in the main or co-main event would get injured. You know, if you'd have thrown that at me 3 years ago, I'd have said, come on, Meltzer. You think all these guys are going to, it's impossible for that many guys to get injured. And I would have been wrong. Yes, that's without a doubt the thing that's just a complete, holy shit.
So
it happened.
Does that bring about any change in philosophy, or can you do anything?
Nothing I can do. Just one of those things. Hey, I mean, what's going to happen this year? Every main event's going to fall out? I mean, that's what it would take to beat last year. So we made it through it. We lived, and, you know, we're getting smarter now. When we do this George St. Pierre fight, and we got a lot of backup.
Like 10 welterweights.
Exactly. We got a lot of backup on that card, man. So guys can drop like flies and we'll still be safe.
There was a lot of bad news this year. The injuries you mentioned, the first canceled card, but there was good stuff as well. Fox steals the first full year of it. How would you characterize the year from the UFC?
It's been a good year. I mean, the best way to sum up this year is all the naysayers that said the UFC, you know, this thing can't do this thing can't do that. This year proved this thing's here to stay, and we can basically get through anything. I would find it very hard to believe that he wouldn't. You know, after what happened last time, he's been sitting out for so long. You know, this is a fight that he wanted. He really wanted this fight bad, and George St. Pierre called him out. He's getting it. So yes, I expect Diaz to be there. I have not. Nick Diaz doesn't return my calls, my texts, nothing.
How does that make you feel?
It's Nick Diaz, you know what I mean?
Well, you're the boss.
You don't have to call me, you don't have to text me, but you do have to show up to the press conference. I would be blown away if he did it twice. It just wouldn't be a good move.
Considering how big the fight is, would you consider going to the length of like having a full-time like personal escort to bring him with you?
Listen, the thing about Nick Diaz shows up for fights, you know, and Nick Diaz shows up and fights his ass off when the fight is there. He's not a big fan of the pre-fight promotion, but you have to do it. You have to do it. Whether you're Nick Diaz, you're Anderson Silva, or whoever you are, it's in your contract. You can actually be cut. We can cut you for that. How fun would the press conferences be if nobody fucking showed up at me? It wouldn't be too good. It would just, you have to do it.
That's the Ariel question.
And yeah, exactly. I've proved that you will be punished if you don't show up for those things, if you don't do it. You know, you either won't fight the big fight that you were supposed to fight, or you'll be cut.
As far as Gilbert Melendez coming in and being able to get an immediate title shot, where does that put Donald Cerrone and Anthony Pettis in their fight coming up?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anthony Pettis, man, that guy's been through some shit. He really has. And this is a big fight for him.
They probably, the winner of that.
I don't want to go saying anything, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to. We'll see.
Any idea on the location? I know you haven't made the fight official, but for Gil and Ben, where that fight could possibly take place?
No, I have no idea yet. No.
Jamie said after his win that the number one fight he won is to fight Joe Lozon, whether he won or lost.
Who said that?
Jamie
Varner.
Oh, yeah?
And they only fought 4 months ago, but what do you think's next for Jamie?
I think it's crazy to come off a win and fight a guy who lost, so. He can want all he wants, but you know that fight doesn't make sense for him.
Did he give like a timetable of like how his shoulder's doing and like when he's ready?
He said he's ready to start training again. He said he's ready to get back in the gym and start training. So. Rampage? I don't know. Rampage will fight this fight and we'll see what happens. You know? No. This is the last fight on his deal. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, he'll fight this fight and we'll talk. Like I said, I never know where we stand with that guy. Never know.
With the talk of the super fights, kind of there's been some water on it. Do you still think that 2013 is the year we see a stadium show in the U.S.?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Again, we'll see. I love this fight with Frankie Edgar and Jose Aldo. I'm excited for that fight. That's a fun one. It's a big one. You could do that one in the United States, Mexico, or Brazil. Those are big. That fight's big anywhere.
You have all this expansion going on with the UFC, going worldwide and everything, but there's still one state we haven't cracked yet, New York. Is there any progress with that? When will that happen, if it will, or if it can?
Here I go again. But I plan on being in New York in 2013 for the UFC's 20th anniversary. That's my goal. So we'll see. That's the goal.
The integration of Strikeforce now, obviously what's happening now, what do you feel about the judge competition with Velasquez? How do you feel when you rank that among the weight classes?
How do I feel about what?
The weight class.
The heavyweight division? Yeah, no, for 2013, we've got some exciting fights in that division. You know, we'll see what happens with the Overeem fight, the winner of that, and possibly Kane, and possibly a third fight with Junior Dos Santos. You know, we'll see how this year plays out, but there's a lot of good options and a lot of big, fun fights in 13 in the heavyweight division.
Have you had a chance to evaluate Rockhold and where you think he fits in when
Not
he comes
yet.
over?
Mm-mm. You know, we were getting through with this thing, and we're getting through with this thing, and we the tooth just really screwed up my whole flow here. What did you ask me?
Rockhold. If you had a chance to look at him,
so we got to
think
sit
about
down now and think about this whole Strikeforce transition, and we'll go from there.
Just going back to New York, that's a pretty big statement. What makes you feel that this can happen now? Do you have any intel that something's going to change?
Yeah, we're just working hard on it like we always were.
Based on what you're hearing in Albany, obviously there are major roadblocks there.
Yeah.
Does it seem more promising?
That's my goal. You asked me what my goal was, I'm telling you what it is.
Is it a realistic goal in your opinion?
I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it was. You think I'm just throwing shit out there like, you know, fucking dream or something? I mean, that's our goal, is to get into New York in November for the 20th anniversary at Madison Square Garden.
When should an announcement be made?
We do. MSG's behind us 100%. They want it bad.
When would something have to happen?
I don't know. Yeah.
What can the media, fighters, and community do to really push that to make that happen?
Nothing. It's all dirty union shit. Dirty, rotten, scummy union. Culinary union of Las Vegas. Unite, scumbags. That's what's stopping it.
Safe to say it'd be like a UFC 100 type card, maybe 2 title fights on it, or just a normal card?
Yeah, we got a card planned. We got some stuff planned. We just got to get past these scumbag gangster union guys and see what happens.
What are the early indications on the level of enthusiasm from the fans for Anaheim for on occasion?
What's the level of?
Yeah, like the feedback you guys are getting on the.
The feedback from the media has been incredible, you know. So we'll hopefully that spills over into the fans too. It's going to be a great card. So I think it's going to. I mean, Southern California, we haven't been there in a while. Her first fight and the undercard's great too. So it should be real good.
Back to New York, if you had your dream fight that you could put in on Madison Square Garden, who
Look
would
at
it
you.
be? Who would it be?
Arrow Hawani Jr. over here.
No.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I do have the fight, but I can't tell you guys yet. Huh?
You want us to tag team?
Yeah, you are tag teaming. You guys are like a unit now. Any other questions? That makes sense? No? Thank you guys. Happy New Year.